So I'll shut that down because, well, I've been electrocuted. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. 2023, let's get to work. So, I think technically today is a holiday. Is it a holiday? But I had a farm call and say, hey, we got some iodine that's not spraying well. What's going on? I gave them a list of things to look at, and I said, let me come do that because I know I got a busy week and I'd rather have it done than actually wait longer. And, you know, spraying iodine is part of prevention of mastitis and issues to come in the future with cows. So if you don't know, once a cow is milked, you spray it with disinfectant and it helps keep the teat ends actually clean, seal up. Otherwise, bacteria can get into a cow, cause mastitis, and cause a lot of headaches. So somatic cell and everything else like that, as far as milk quality, a lot of it goes back to cleanliness. So let's get going, and maybe I'll show you a little bit along the way. Change of plans. Guy just messaged me back on Facebook Marketplace, and there's a box trailer that he's got that looks good in the pictures, and it says it's free, but he says you can't get a semi in front of it to pull it, to back it out. So we're gonna go stop and look at that quick. I don't know if I'm gonna film anything because it's always weird when I'm like, hey, by the way, I got a camera, can I film at your house? But yeah, it's on the way actually to where we're going, so we're just gonna jump off the highway, check it out, jump back on, finish up what we gotta do, because that would mean then I don't have to rearrange everything that's in the box trailer right now that I have, that literally is full of shop supplies and everything else, to put my house supplies in there, because, well, yeah, I have to move everything, and none of that, I don't think it's all gonna fit all together. I got a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. You start packaging things and you're like, holy smokes. So, but yeah, we're gonna go jump down on Mass Pike, cut across, and see what we can see with this trailer. Maybe I'll get you guys a little glimpse of it, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing for my day job. Okay, so we are here at an undisclosed location, and there's a trailer way off in the distance, you see that? And the tires are good, the brakes are good, the trailer is actually really good. Getting it out, though, might be creative. I think they built some stuff up after they put it in. This person just moved here, and it's free. So I told him I might come over and hook onto it and see if I can sneak it out of there. It's tucked in there well. The landing gear actually works. They put a block of wood underneath the landing gear. The brakes aren't caged, nothing's messed up there. There's plenty of brake pads left on the shoes. So Facebook Marketplace might hook us up, or we might get stuck and be a nightmare. He's got a small tractor, like a small tractor, but nothing. So if we come over with some cage bolts, hook it up, drag it out. It's tight though, like really tight. So I guess we're gonna probably have a video of me doing some hood rat things. He said I just can't hit the barn and I can't kill the horse. So we'll go from that. I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to get that out of there. I like the trailer because of, like, it's clean. The brakes were mint, like really mint. I don't know who would have ever sold that as a storage trailer, but probably back when the day when things weren't as expensive. Now junk storage trailers are like freaking $3 grand. So I got to do some thinking if we're actually going to go mess around with that or not. But I better keep moving, get to the farm, get their problem sorted out, and yeah, we'll go from there. Here we go. So I already put this robot in manual. What's going on here is I got one robot, but as you see, it's making a mess. So it's got an air leak somewhere as it pre-sprays. I'll run over that. They said, oh, it's not training right as far as when they teach stuff on the other one. And I'll show you guys a hint. We'll take it apart in a minute. There's some fly splatter on it, but see how there's two green lights? There's a middle transformer that takes high voltage down to 12 or 24 volts. One light's burnt out because it's not working. So we got that to do. And then our last thing is a little water leak right there. I gotta see where it's coming from. I got a whole new valve there. They had a little bit of buildup in dosatron that actually injects chlorine in. So that is, it got plugged, they took it apart, maybe the O-ring's bad inside of it. So these are classic robots, and well, before we do that, no, we'll let it sit because we might make a mess. So before we do that, let's see. Robot, you can do disinfect pump. You can hear that it's up there. It's not spraying anything. Interesting, but you can see it's dripping. So if you go to VMS menu, IO test, you can categorize it down. We'll go detergent pump. So there's a detergent pump and then there's detergent valve. Let me see. Disinfect pump. So if you turn the pump on, there's a flow jet up top that actually pressurizes with air. Then you open the valve. Yeah, it's not doing anything. That's cool. Oh, pump on, valve on. There we go. It's spraying decent, but if you shut the valve, it still dribbles out, which means there's an air leak running out of it somewhere. So inside this arm, there's actually a connection for the disinfect. So little 4mm push connect. So I'll pull that out, we'll see what we got. So this one's your water air to the camera. You got your tilt, you got your gripper, but as we see, there's actually a name on one of them. Should say a name. Disinfect. So this one right here is disinfect. So we got to pull the coupler down. I'll need both hands. I didn't bring my head mount. And this is actually gripper sensor, and we tape them up because the fittings that come with them are junk. So I got it disconnected here. Let's see how it actually flows out of here. So we'll turn the valve off. We'll turn the pump is on, so it's got air going to it. Let me hold this so we don't get, we might be okay. So we'll go to the valve. Oh. Yeah, we definitely got a leak. That should be pumping like, okay. Let's go see. So the fact that the pump was not keeping up here, I don't believe it's anything downstream. And there's actually a connection piece that we made so we could extend it out to get into totes. So it's just 6mm straight connector. I'm thinking that it's got a little air leak on one side and that's why it was struggling. But I did take the, let me show you, the spray tip out. Flip this over. Took that out of there, cleaned it out. So that all looks good. We'll put it back in and see what goes on. So I'll let it milk some cows. I'll go mess with the other robots. And we'll see if it actually sprays on the screen. When it comes out after it's spraying, it means it's still spraying and it has an air leak that lets it do that. So it's gonna milk this cow and I'll go mess with those down there. So I'll shut that down because, well, I've been electrocuted. Put my hand on a capacitor that was bad and woke up on the ground. So I'm not a big fan of electricity, but I got a brand new transformer. Once it's powered down, we'll open the electrical box up, switch it out, make sure the voltage is correct, 24, 24.5, and then we'll be good. And you can change these. Let me grab it out of the box here. You can change these transformers as far as the voltage that they can go with. So right there, 24 to 28, that's really what it is. So now we got 3 lights going on up there. Actually, actually put a meter on it. So before it was like, if they're dim, they're below like 14 and they run 24 to 28. Now it's at 24.4 and we plugged the joystick in and actually calibrated it. So now it's good. Things worked out good there. This water leak, the seal inside when they took it apart and one of the bolts was dropped out. We're good to go there. So close these cabinets up. This had an air leak on it. I stabbed my finger on the tilt. Well, it's the little stuff like that, as long as I'm here, even though it's 6 o'clock now. I figured you might as well get everything buttoned up. Have a good week. So, just checking out this head. It had a gripper air leak, which usually the connections or something. When everything freezes, like we had a deep freeze last week, it makes some of those air lines expand and crack. So we are, well, we're headed home. Right, Anko? You want to go home? Yeah, we got an hour and a half ride home. It's 6:30 right now. Great stop. Got what I needed done. I got one thing I got to send to them and one thing I got to figure out. But yeah, they were milking cows. Things were kicking along. It just, some stuff wasn't right, and that's the big thing about being a technician, knowing, hey, I should go look at that, or hey, you're good to go, or hey, go look at that. As far as telling the farmer what to go look at. So I was at a farm the other day talking to my coworker at another farm, and off the top of my head I said, go do this, go do that, click this, go through that, and the employee at the farm looks at me and goes, wow, how do you ever remember any of that stuff? And I don't know, it's a skill. It's a very, I'd say, advanced skill as far as working on robots and putting all the pieces together. But at the same point, it's a skill that doesn't help you anywhere else. Like being mechanically inclined, it helps, but it doesn't help you in any other market other than mechanical market, robot market, hardware side. And I know there's going to be people in the comments after this saying, oh, it's good for this, that. Yeah, I just like being mechanically inclined and working with my hands. So, well, we're good at that farm, which is good. Otherwise, I was going to have to go there tomorrow. And tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. And I'm only going to have so many Taco Tuesdays left before I actually get out of here. So, and our bartender, who we've known for years and years and years through different Mexican restaurants that he's worked at and different places that we went. And he's actually, I think, shoveling snow for my brother if it ever snows. So he's considered a good friend of ours. He's come and hung out and whatnot. So I'm going to miss hanging out with him. And I've had a lot of people say, well, you're going to have to get a taco truck out there in New York and whatnot, or find a good taco place. And I know I'm picky. I got blessed with past experiences such as going to Mexico and working in Mexico and working in Southern California, where the sketchier the taco truck looks, probably the better the food is, to be honest. So there is a limit on where you're at, but good authentic Mexican should not make you sit on the toilet the next day. People get that, and that's not really what good authentic Mexican food is. So alrighty, we're gonna jump home. But that's the problem. So it's 6:30 right now. I'll be home at 8 o'clock if everything goes right. Probably stop, get myself a drink. Oh no, I got some drink. Forgot about that, Yanko. We got that. So it will be 8 o'clock at night, and what am I gonna do? Go wrench in the driveway, or maybe make some dinner and go to sleep and wake up again? So I will be excited when I'm full-time actually doing my own thing. Granted, yeah, 2 more weeks and I will miss it. I've had all my farms reach out to me and tell me how they've appreciated me over the years, and they're gonna miss my company, and I'm gonna miss them, because I do work with some really, really great farms and great people. Farmers are great people, like hands down. So, but alrighty, I'll see what comes of it, but this might be the end of the video. I don't know. Hey, we did make it home. What are you, sleeping up there? Don't mind my steps. I know nobody's ever actually, I don't think you guys have ever actually noticed that. They've been like that since I was a little kid. I didn't live here when I was a little kid, but we made it home. Yeah. We got to see on that trailer. I'm glad I made that service call. We got everything good. Keep in mind, those robots were running. They just weren't running at peak capacity. So that's a big thing when you're milking 24 hours a day and you want everything to be efficient. But we absolutely do have something that we got to go hook to that Mac, and I'm excited. Yanko used all his Christmas money and his allowance for the year and bought me it, I think. That's what we're going to say, right? So you'll notice in that video that Yanko is not at all with me. Well, he was out mixing feed, running around, doing whatever else with the farmers. So he'll come in and hang out with me for a little bit, but he likes to wander around there or hang out in the office. But alrighty, I got to get to editing this video. We got a busy day tomorrow. We'll see what we get into, and I got to do some thinking on that box trailer. And well, since you guys waited till the end, I told you there's going to be a surprise this week as far as something that's going to make our lives a lot easier and hopefully more efficient and profitable next year. So alrighty, appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys watching to the end because you get to learn stuff like that. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.